Hi, thanks for watching another one of my videos about my rusty pilot journey. In this video I'm going to talk about my fear of flying, and I'm going to talk about watching a bunch of crash videos on YouTube. I'm going to talk about the Air Safety Institute, Dan Gryder, Mike Patey, and I'm going to talk about how all of this has affected me, seeing all this death and destruction with small airplanes, and what I plan to do about it with my rusty pilot journey. So let's do this. If you're like me and you're interested in airplanes and flying and you love watching planes in the sky, you probably also like watching stuff about airplanes on YouTube. And if you watch stuff about airplanes on YouTube, YouTube most likely is going to serve up a bunch of airplane crash videos because they get lots of views. And so you probably had a full plate of videos like this.
A pilot was killed this weekend after his small plane went down during a gender reveal party in Mexico.
Or like this.
The video is hard to watch. A plane falling out of the sky and crashing into an SUV. Now we're looking.
And like this.
This pilot is about to make a fatal mistake.
Anyway, you get the point. You've probably seen lots of fatal airplane crash videos, just like I have. And you're probably a fan of some really great YouTube channels like Blanco Lirio with Juan Brown, where he goes over aircraft accidents in great detail. Great channel. I love Blanco Lirio channel, and Juan Brown is awesome. I've met him in person. He's a great guy. You've also probably watched videos from Dan Gryder, Probable Cause. Dan is doing an amazing job of trying to help pilots stay alive and learn about AQP, and he's doing some fantastic stuff. He's got haters, but I don't know why. Anyway, I've watched lots and lots of Dan Gryder videos, and then you might be also subscribed to Air Safety Institute, and you've probably seen a lot of these kinds of videos, accident case studies, early analysis videos. And if you're like me, these can get kind of disturbing. They can kind of make you feel a little uneasy about the whole idea of flying a small airplane. In fact, it gets even worse. Talking about Air Safety Institute, you probably know Richard McSpadden of AOPA. He was the senior vice president of AOPA Air Safety Institute. And Richard, as it says here on the website, was dedicated to improving the general aviation safety record with the goal of reducing GA mishaps by expanding pilots' knowledge. So that makes it all the more terrible of what happened to him. If you don't know, I'm sure you can find out all kinds of details about what happened to him on YouTube. It was terrible. And then I've actually taken it a step further. I went to Google and I'm like Googling flight instructor dies in crash, because I'm like, I had heard, I've seen some of these videos, student pilot and flight instructor killed in plane crash, killed instructor, flight instructor, student pilot killed. And I Googled, searched it, and there's just on and on and on and on and on and on. What in the heck is going on? So it's just not a good thing. And it's really terrible for my confidence level of getting back into flying. And since this is my rusty pilot journey, I just want to start off and let everybody know I've got this fear of flying. And it's not because I'm afraid of being in an airplane and flying in the sky in a small airplane. I've done it before. I'm looking forward to doing it again, and lots of it. But all of this new information that I didn't have back in the day, because there was no such thing as YouTube, now I've got this all these visions of planes crashing, and it's disturbing. So not only that, it gets even worse. I live in Spanish Fork, Utah, the same city as Mike Patey, and I'll get to him in a second. But my goal returning to flying is to learn how to be a very good, safe pilot flying in the mountains, since in Spanish Fork, Utah, there's mountains all around us, and I'll be flying back and forth between Spanish Fork and California airports and Idaho and other airports around the West. So I'm going to be doing a lot of mountain flying. So I bought this book, Flying the Mountains by Fletcher Anderson. And I started reading in the book. And actually, let me get my glasses so I can read this. In the introduction, he says, I am not prone to take big risks. So I thought, that's great. And then as I'm reading the book, I'm thinking, what's going on with Fletcher Anderson now? Is he still alive? Has he got a school? What's the deal? So I started researching Fletcher Anderson, and I was very disturbed to find out he was killed in a plane crash. And it was attributed to pilot error. And he was a great guy, very accomplished pilot, and he made a mistake. So all of this stuff has been very disturbing to me as I'm gearing up, my mind and my finances and my education and everything to get back into flying again, wanting to be a safe pilot as I get back into the sky. And I'm finding out not only are inexperienced pilots killing themselves, very experienced, safety-minded people are killing themselves in airplanes. And so it's been rough, I got to admit. And now I want to talk about Mike Patey again, because he just gave a speech recently here in Spanish Fork. And if you haven't seen the video that he made, here's Mike right here with his beautiful family. And he gave a speech here in the Spanish Fork Airport, and he talked about how he lost 4 friends in 60 days. And it was a very powerful speech, very powerful. If you haven't watched this video, you should definitely watch this video. I'll leave a link to it in the description below. But I'm going to play a very short excerpt of this.
And I am here speaking after losing 4 of not just my fellow aviators. We've lost way more in the last 2 months. 4 of my flying friends in 2 months that I fly with. And I lost an engine in an aircraft and was fortunate enough to get it down. And my friend Creighton King, that I lost just before Reno, was my business partner. The 4 friends I'm talking about are the guys I called to go play with. And they all stopped flying or flew west in the last 60 days. And I'm struggling with it, guys. I have flown 1 plane since losing my friend. And 1 time up in my helicopter. And it soothes me. But I am struggling, guys. We need to stop dying. Stop making bad choices. Because I love aviation and I'm not giving up on it. But it is a hard time, and I'm really sorry that my super excitement of aviation is on a low right now. But I tell you what, if my friend Creighton were standing right here, he would tell you guys to freaking get up, and he would crack a joke and make you laugh and say, go fly, but make good choices. Because aviation makes us happy. And every time we get 2 inches off the ground, we are alive. We are doing things that almost no one in the world ever gets to do. And it is magical and it is amazing. But we need to take a hard look at ourselves and stay home when there are any little things, so that the day that the things you can't control sneak up, you get to fly right through them and get it on the ground, go high-five your friends, and hug your families. I love you guys. I love aviation. Let's be safer. Let's do better. Let's tell our friends to make better choices. Let's make our own better choices. And when we land that really awesome crosswind, I kick butt. You want to high five your friends landing? At least high five your friends and then pause long enough to say, should I have been in the air at all to have such a cool landing that I get to high five my friends about all my rudder, all my aileron, and greased it in? Maybe you shouldn't have been up. Not saying you should or shouldn't, but I want you to ask that question. Did I make a bad choice to get me into this super cool landing? Anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. I love you guys. I love aviation. Don't give up on it. Let's just keep more of you around and more of the rest of our family around. Thanks so much. Back to work.
That was a powerful, powerful video. It still moves me to tears just thinking about what he said right there and all of the stories that he told right before, the end of his speech right there. But it was a great, great speech. You should definitely watch it. Anyway, his sentiment that he expressed there is also expressed by one of my favorite guys on YouTube, Dan Gryder. And he's doing everything he can to help reduce the fatality rate of general aviation. And this is his year-end review for the year 2023. And I just want to play a short excerpt of this video.
I want to go over a couple of the accomplishments for the year. I've hit this really hard. Pick one: night, IMC, terrain, or ice. We've gone over AQP. I've made a total of 11 ride-along videos to show you some of these AQP concepts. I've done about 25 AQP flight reviews. The whole AQP DMMS concept is really taking a hold, and I appreciate that. We are lowering the general aviation fatal accident rate. Currently, right now, we're at 169. I wanted no more than 168, but we're one above that with the recent helicopter crash, the fatal in Miami. We're at 169, which sounds high, but actually that's extremely low. I'm going to show you the graphic on here right now. This is the lowest, 169 GA fatals in the USA. That's the lowest we have ever seen, ever since the dawn of time. So we're doing good. I'd like to get this number back down much, much lower than this. 2024, I'm going to have a goal of bringing this number down even further. We're going to do it with better decisions, less night flying, and being more ready for AQP scenarios that are going to happen to you. Remember, AQP only eliminates the surprise. It conditions you for the things that are going to happen to you once you get your pilot's license. The best thing we can do is make better decisions. Don't run out of gas. Don't fly into inadvertent weather. If you get stuck in the weather, don't descend. I want you to climb. All those basic AQP things we're going to continue to harp on all during 2024.
Okay, so I highly recommend subscribing to Probable Cause Dan Gryder, his channel, and watching his lives on Sunday nights and watching his videos when he puts them out, because he usually takes them down after a week. So if he puts out a video, you want to catch it right away. Anyway, with the Rusty Pilot Club, I am dedicated to getting myself back into the sky safely and to encouraging you and anybody else that you know that you want to invite to get back into the sky with us. Let's do it. Let's get back into the sky. Let's fly, but let's do it safely. Let's learn about AQP. Let's do it the right way, like Dan and Mike are telling us to in these 2 short clips. Thanks for watching. In an upcoming video that I'm going to be making very soon, I'm going to talk about all the reasons why I want to fly again, even with all of the death and destruction and people killing themselves in airplanes, even very experienced people who shouldn't have killed themselves in airplanes. Why do I still want to do it? What are my reasons why I want to fly? I'm going to tell you all of that in an upcoming video. And what I'd like to do is have you comment below of why you fly, and if you aren't flying now, why do you want to get back into it? Just let me know how this video affected you. What fears of flying do you have? And are you still wanting to get back into the sky even if there are risks? And I do, and I highly recommend you think about it too, because Well, I'll go over that in the next video.